this season with a Pepsi tall boy. What is up? I hope everyone had a glorious offseason, but now the best time of year is here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I already have my Halloween set up behind me. I got out my cute little wooden sign that says "More booze, please." I got my spooky cider lane candle. What more could you ask for? For me, it's like the second September hits. I'm like, okay, it is football season and it's also Halloween. And it's so weird to say that considering that the last time I sat here and filmed a formal YouTube video, it was the NFL draft. It's been a long 4 months-ish, but we made it. And this week there's football, and there's no other way to kick off this NFL season than by going through and giving my division predictions. I will admit, doing these every year, it's hard, obviously, but this year especially. I don't know what it is about this season, but I have a feeling it's going to be chaotic and exciting in all the best ways possible, other than making predictions. I've been starting with the NFC when I do these, so I'm actually going to switch and start with the AFC. Rip that Band-Aid off. The AFC compared to the NFC is honestly just not even fair anymore. I am very glad that my team is in the NFC, specifically the NFC East. And on that note, let's jump right into it with the AFC North. Last season, the AFC North as a whole was extremely competitive, and I think we're going to get a touch of that this season, but it's not going to be like it was last year. The Steelers are in this transitional period. The Browns are the Browns. And then you have the Ravens and the Bengals on another tier. But how is this actually going to break down? Should I try a drum roll just for old time's sake? I'm still going to be really bad at this. I think that was the best one I've ever done. I genuinely think the Browns are going to come in last in this division, which does sound crazy because they still do have a really strong roster. And out of every backup quarterback to have, Jacoby Brissett is a really good one. But they do have a pretty tough schedule. And they get Deshaun Watson back for the last couple of weeks of the season. But from what I saw in his couple snaps in preseason, he is going to be a little shaky. By no means do I think they're going to be this god-awful team, but I think they're going to be right around middle of the line average. I also think the Steelers are going to be right around middle of the line average, and I think they're just going to barely sneak ahead. Now we can confidently say that Mitch Trubisky is going to be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1, and I honestly am rooting for Mitch. Do I think he's going to come out and just suddenly be the superstar quarterback? Absolutely not. Do I realistically think that we are going to see Kenny Pickett at some point this season? Yes. But I think both of them are on this average good cusp. They have a good roster. They have a good defense. Mike Tomlin's their coach. I think the Steelers as a whole are going to be able to cook something up to just stay perfectly average. And there are worse positions to be in. Ask the Houston Texans. We'll get there. So yeah, AFC North, I'm going Browns, Steelers, Bengals, Ravens. I still think that the Bengals are going to be fantastic. I just think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to be a little bit more fantastic. I'm sorry, but if you are coming into the 2022 season and you are still doubting Lamar Jackson, check yourself. The entire Ravens offense got hurt last season before the season even started, and Lamar Jackson himself was out there winning games that I thought the Baltimore Ravens had no business standing a chance in. I thought last season was going to be a complete wash, and it wasn't. Why Lamar Jackson? I am putting the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl conversations for the 2022 season. So, okay, moving on to the AFC South. I'm just going to drop that bomb and then move on. I actually dropped that bomb, and I'm about to drop another one. Did I really? I'm looking at my notes, and I said this year that I was going to sit down, I was going to write out each division, and then I was just going to go through them, and whatever comes to my head first, I'm just going to go with. Because last year, I let too much logical thinking taint my brain, and I realized I just have to trust my gut more, and I'm giving you this spiel. So in 10 seconds, when I give you my AFC South predictions, you understand what went on behind it. Okay, we're just going to go. AFC South, initial reactions. Colts, Jags, Titans, Texans. But you know what? I'm sticking with it. The Colts, I think, are the easy, hands-down division winners here. That one I don't have to debate at all. The Jacksonville Jaguars coming in over the Titans, some may consider controversial. This stems more from me thinking that the Titans are not going to do well rather than the Jags are going to do well. I don't even know what I just said. Putting all of the pressure on Derrick Henry to just carry this team, that's just asking for a lot. So yeah, I'll die on the hill. Jags over Titans. And yeah, the Texans, I mean, they're the Houston Texans. Go up to anyone and ask them to name 5 players on the Houston Texans. Laramie Tunsil. Why is that the first name that came to mind? Davis Mills. Brandon Cooks. Pierce. Who did they draft? Derek Stingley. Okay, 5. Boom. I passed my own test, but no. They're still not going to be good. Don't make me do the AFC West. No, this division is freaking terrifying. They are all playoff teams. All of them. What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to order them? They could all come in first. None should come in last. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I'm looking at what I wrote down. This video is going to get me canceled. Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos. It's what my gut's telling me. It's what I'm going with. This feels wrong. It sounds wrong. Patrick Mahomes coming in third in his division. It doesn't sound right. When Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos, I said they could potentially be a Super Bowl team. And now I have them coming in last in their division. My argument as to why the Chargers are going to win this division is because of their defense. When you're in a division that is filled with powerhouse offenses like this one is, and you have the best defense on your team, that is going to be the difference maker. The Chargers are also just due to win it. We have to remember, Justin Herbert has yet to see the postseason. That all changes in 2022. And then realistically, I think Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos are just going to be battling it out. But right now, the cookie is crumbling where the Raiders pull slightly ahead of the Chiefs and the Chiefs pull slightly ahead of the Broncos. And that, my friends, is what we are sticking with. Moving on over into the AFC East, I love this division. Love it. It is the only division that I've gotten right 2 years in a row, and we are going for a hat trick here. And this year, it's really easy for me. I feel like each team just has its place. I'm going Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. I also want to make it clear that I am not out on the New York Jets. The Zach Wilson injury shook me up a little bit. There was a point in this offseason where I was going to predict the Jets coming in above the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are going to be good this year at all. I shouldn't say that. I just think they're going to be like subpar at best. So yes, there was a point, especially right after the draft, where I was like, okay, maybe the Jets get sneaky and sneak in above. Patriots finish in last. Now, especially with the Zach Wilson injury, I'm not going to go there. But Jets fans, just keep holding on. I love your head coach. You are building a swaggy, fun, exciting young team that has talent. So something good is in the cards for you. I just don't think it's happening in 2022. For the Bills and the Dolphins, 1, Josh Allen is going to come out looking for blood this season if the Bills win 13 games. I'll be like, yes, this makes sense. And then the Dolphins, they're absolutely stacked. This is such a gorgeous roster. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I have a soft spot for the Dolphins. So I love this. And there we go. We made it through the gauntlet that is the AFC. So now we move over into the Hot Mess Express that is the NFC, and we're starting things off with the NFC North. And oh yes, the hot takes are continuing. Yes, it has to do with the Detroit Lions. NFC North in 2022, I'm going Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. Oh my. This isn't an attack on the Minnesota Vikings. Don't come for me. Is there an argument that the Minnesota Vikings can win this division? Easily, hands down. Personally, I've just seen a reoccurring theme with the Minnesota Vikings that they go into games where I'm like, oh yeah, Vikings are going to lose, and then they win. And then they go into the games where I'm like, Vikings easily have this, and then they lose. And I don't know why, because the talent is there. Vikings fans should honestly be happy I'm saying this, because every time I bet against the Vikings, they win. Every time I take the Vikings, they lose. What is the deal there? But yeah, I don't know. Everyone's talking a lot of smack on Aaron Rodgers because he lost Devontae Adams. He's not going to have any weapons. He's Aaron freaking Rodgers. Are we forgetting his whole career? All he does is make average receivers look incredible. Back-to-back MVP, regular season king. Is he taking the Packers to the Super Bowl this year? Absolutely not. I wish I could say I think he was going to. I don't. But is he going to come out this season and take the NFC North? I think easily. The Lions is a hot take. I know. I just believe in them. I want them to do well. I love this team. And I think they have the mindset to come out and be really sneaky. And then my poor sweet Justin Fields on the Chicago Bears. I think he's going to be running for his life, literally. And if your young quarterback is running for his life, and then you also have a very average receiving core, you're really not setting yourself up for success. Okay, NFC South, and I'm not getting funky here. Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers. As long as Brady's in Tampa, I don't think any other team in this division really stands a chance. The Saints have a really solid team. I honestly think they're going to be pretty good. Falcons, I honestly think could be sneaky good. And given the fact that they're in the NFC, they honestly have a chance at a wild card. I have been defending Marcus Mariota all offseason. I think he's going to come out for Atlanta and just be this consistent, reliable quarterback. And they do have Ritter behind him, so who knows what's really going to happen there. And then, of course, the Kyle Pitts breakout season, obviously. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like Baker Mayfield in Carolina still doesn't make a big enough difference. After what we saw last season, the fact that it was even a question if Baker Mayfield was going to get there and be Sam Darnold's backup, it tells me all I need to know about where they're at in Carolina. All right, now let's take a look at the NFC West. The only lock that I have about this division, and this is no pun intended for Drew Lock being the backup in Seattle now, but the Seahawks are going to come in last in this division for obvious reasons. Pete Carroll, I love ya, but you're a dinosaur. I just think it's going to be a really big adjustment without Russell Wilson there. I say Seahawks win 4 or 5 games, maybe. The rest of the teams in this division, though, there's just so many big question marks around all of them. Last year, I had the Cardinals being dark horse Super Bowl contenders, and then the end of last season, they just completely crushed my soul. There was a lot of drama this offseason with Kyler Murray and his contract, and they paid him. I think they overpaid him. You have to start the season without DeAndre Hopkins. I feel weird kind of backtracking and giving up on them a little bit compared to where I was last season, but I don't know. The vibes are a little weird, so I'm going to go Seahawks in last, Cardinals in third, and then you have the 49ers and the Rams. Now, obviously, the Rams are the Rams, reigning Super Bowl champions. And for the 49ers, we really don't know how Trey Lance is going to be in this offense yet, but I'm going to take the gamble. I'm going to go 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks. And of course, I was saving the NFC East for last. What did we expect? Ironically enough, the NFC East reminds me a lot of the AFC East because everyone is just going to fall right in line. The Giants are by far coming in last. The Washington Commies, I'm sorry. The Washington Commanders, with Carson Wentz as their quarterback, are going to come in third. The Dallas Cowgirls are coming in second because my Eagles are taking this. Dallas may be really, really subpar this year. Aww. And my Eagles, for the first time since I started this YouTube channel, honestly have a very strong roster, and I can feel pretty confident about them going into the season. Howie Roseman worked his little tail off this offseason. He drafted beautifully. Our defense, great. Our offensive line, great. Our offensive weapons, fantastic. And then you just have Jalen Hurts in the center of it all, and he's gonna ball. And I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but it did, so here we are. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. I don't know if we can tell. I'm a little excited about the Eagles this year. I lay in bed sometimes and I just think back to the moment the Eagles got AJ Brown. I was just like, wow. I loved my team. I always loved my team. But at that moment, I fell in love with my team. You know that feeling? Fly Eagles fly, and I dropped some really hot takes in this video. Let me know down in the comments whether you love them or hate them. Throw me a like and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And make sure to keep up with me on all my other socials at TheSportyBaby. TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. It's gonna be such a good year. I'm so excited to be back.